Please be advised this podcast features AI cloned voices created with human oversight. All content is reviewed by experts for accuracy and relevance. Welcome to IDS Retail Park, where the real stories of retail reinvention surface. I'm your host, Maya. Today we're exploring how a global giant like Ikea is giving its big box identity a Parisian makeover, and what that tells us about the next phase of retail. I'm joined by Christine, who's not only written the exclusive on this for IADS, but has been following the IKEA story closely for years. Christine, thanks for being here with us again.
Hi Maya, thanks for having me. I'm really looking forward to talking through IKEA's new approach and what's happening on the ground in Paris.
Before we dive in, a quick note for our listeners. This episode is based on research and reporting done in 2021. Some of the trends and figures we discuss reflect that moment in time, but the ideas and lessons are still highly relevant as retail continues to evolve. So, Christine, IKEA is famous for those giant blue box stores on city outskirts. But something's really shifted. Now we're seeing stores pop up right in the middle of Paris. How did IKEA land on this idea, and why Paris?
It is truly quite a journey. The very first conversations about moving into city centers actually started at the end of the 90s, but the move was slow. While other retailers were experimenting with city concepts, IKEA's first real city center store didn't open until 2014 in Hamburg. Paris became a focus because France is IKEA's third biggest market after Germany and the US, and Paris is a natural laboratory for new formats. In 2019, the first Paris city center store opened in La Madeleine, and since then, things have accelerated. There are now two more, one on Rue de Rivoli and one in the 12th district. Each of them is quite different, which I think is part of what's interesting.
That's a big shift, and it's not something that happens overnight. I wonder if this is part of a wider trend. We're seeing a lot of big retailers talking about right sizing or shifting into the city. Why now?
It's definitely part of a larger pattern. In the US, you've got Target, Kohl's, and even Bloomingdale's testing smaller locations. Department stores like Nordstrom have their local merchandise-free concepts. Brands like Nike are running Nike Live locations for their loyalty members. Urban living is changing shopping habits. People, especially young professionals and students, are less likely to own a car or want to go out to the suburbs just for furniture. Even before COVID, retailers were seeing that convenience and local presence mattered more. The pandemic just sped things up. Suddenly, shopping local wasn't just a preference, but a necessity for many.
It almost sounds like we're moving away from one size fits all in retail, right? Instead, brands are looking for ways to fit into the daily rhythm of the city.
You are so right, Maya, and with so much competition from both direct-to-consumer brands and big names entering home goods, think about Zara and H&M, for example. It has become vital for IKEA to keep evolving, not just with product, but with the whole store experience.
That's a good point. There's a lot of noise, and consumers want every shopping moment to feel relevant. So let's talk about these new stores in Paris. They're not just smaller versions of the blue box, are they? What's actually different from store to store?
They're really quite distinct. La Madeleine, which opened in 2019, is about 5,400 square meters, aimed at the business district. It has planning services, home accessories, limited furniture, and a restaurant, but also runs workshops and events. For IKEA, this is a kind of innovation lab. Rue de Rivoli opened in 2021 and is 2,000 square meters and focused purely on decoration and accessories. It's right on a major shopping street, so impulse buying is a big part of the strategy. The store uses the IKEA app for seamless checkout, no queuing needed. Then there's the planning studio. Think of it as the smallest unit, closer to 100 to 300 square meters. It's really all about advice. Book an appointment, get a consultant to help design your kitchen or solve storage problems. It's a very personal touch.
That's fascinating. It's almost as if each store is its own pilot, responding to a specific part of city life. It makes me think this isn't just about being present in the city, it's about adapting to each neighborhood.
You're spot on. IKEA isn't just using the same formula everywhere. They're taking the time to understand what's in their surroundings, who the residents are, how they shop, and what their needs are.
And who are these new stores really for? I know Gen Z and millennials get mentioned a lot. What do these customers want that's different?
They're very much targeting younger urban customers. These are cost conscious first time buyers, often students or young professionals who care about ease, price, and increasingly sustainability. They want stores to be accessible without a car, expect digital integration, and look for experiences, not just transactions. Interestingly, IKEA's own research in France showed that even post pandemic, people still prefer shopping in store for big pieces, between 66 and 81%, depending on the category. But they also want a local, efficient, and a fun experience.
It's a reminder that retail is as much about interaction as it is about the actual product. I'm curious, how does IKEA actually adjust when something in these new formats doesn't work out as planned?
Their approach is very test and learn. Take La Madeleine, for example. It originally opened with just 1,300 products. I mean, that's significantly fewer than a regular IKEA. But customers found the selection lacking and navigating the space was confusing. So they quickly expanded to 1,900 references and reorganized into theme zones: kitchenware, tableware, and planning services grouped near the restaurant, for instance. These lessons were applied to newer stores, which now display items together by use or theme, making it easier to understand what's there and to inspire shoppers. The company really listens to feedback and isn't afraid to make changes if something's not working.
That's important. Retailers sometimes forget to keep evolving once a store is open. It sounds like innovation is in IKEA's DNA, but it's being expressed differently now. Instead of just product or price, it's about the format and the services too.
Definitely. You still have the recognizable blue and yellow branding and the warehouse display, but they're tailoring everything else: the offer, the layout, even the workshops and services to fit each location and demographic.
Do you think this urban focus is the new normal for IKEA, or is it more of a series of experiments for now?
I'd say it's a real transformation. The strategy is flexible by design. They're not locked into three urban formats. They've launched an all living room store in Madrid, a tiny advice hub in Toulouse, and adapted the concept elsewhere depending on the community. They're also rolling out new services like secondhand furniture options, delivery, and even collaborating with platforms like TaskRabbit. It's all about meeting people where they are and giving them help beyond just selling a product.
That's a good point to end on. IKEA isn't just moving into the city, they're figuring out how to fit city life. And that's a big lesson for any global retailer.
You know, Maya, it's about proximity, purpose, and personalization. Those three P's make all the difference now.
Christine, thank you for sharing your insights. If you want to read Christine's full exclusive on IKEA's evolving Paris strategy, check out IAD's exclusive insights on Substack. The link is in our episode description.
Thanks, Maya. I hope this inspires more retailers to think local and stay curious about what customers want.
Thanks to everyone for listening. If you found today's conversation valuable, please subscribe, rate us on your favorite platform, and share this episode with your team. Catch our exclusive industry updates and more deep dives on LinkedIn and Substack. Until next time, keep looking at what's right in front of you, because the next retail revolution might already be on your street.